What were you drawing back there, like when you first started getting into tattooing?
I think just all the same shit that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But just shitty versions of it. You know what I mean? Skulls and snakes and flowers and all that stuff. I started doing weird skulls and funky looking stuff, and I just kind of do the same version of that now, but better.
Today on the podcast, Brett Rosepiler, Las Vegas born and raised tattooer, muralist, and co-owner of One Block Las Vegas.
Being inspired by tattoo artwork has gone back pretty far for me. Just looking in magazines, having the right people behind you, and also having the right crew of friends and family around you too to support you and keep you grounded is really important, and all those guys are that.
Yeah, we talk about what actually makes a tattoo shop work, why most shop owners fail before they even get started, and how Brett built One Block by focusing on the right people, the right culture, and a shop that actually feels good to be in. I'm Austin Spencer, and this is Support Your Local Tattooer. Dude, thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
We got Brett Rosepiler in the house. Welcome to Support Your Local Tattooer. Beep, 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 beep. We need like a little soundboard.
Yeah,
like
maybe we should
DJ.
have some sound bits.
So what's up, man? How's things, dude?
Everything's really good, man. Everything's been great. Yeah.
You've had like some big changes. You were like, well, a couple years now, right? You opened up.
Yeah, huge changes. I opened up One Block with DJ Tambi here in Las Vegas. Just been, nurturing that for the past 2.5 years we've been open now, and like it's going really, really well.
Time flies, dude.
Time fucking flies.
Yeah. Here's some interesting changes going from a tattooer to shop owner. Some challenges.
I wouldn't say too many challenges, or you know what I mean. DJ and his wife make it really easy to like, maneuver through owning the thing, and she's super organized, so she keeps us.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
On the level, and
yeah,
it just works really well. I couldn't say that we've had many challenges yet. It's like everything's just kind of manifesting exactly the way I thought it would. Honestly,
good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's been great,
dude.
Having no complaints at all, honestly.
Good, because having the right people behind you is everything, dude.
Yeah, having the right people behind you, and also having like the right crew of friends and family around you too to support you and keep you grounded is just really important, and all those guys are that.
Yeah, it looks like you guys really have like a very good, healthy culture that you built, and extremely motivating. I'm assuming
extremely motivating.
Dude,
I have the best tattooers in the world tattooing right next to me.
You really do,
so,
dude.
Yeah, it's a big deal to me. Yeah, for sure. I don't take it very lightly. It's like very, very important to me.
No shortage of inspiration.
No,
yeah,
not a bit.
So you've been in Vegas for a while, right?
Yeah, whole life.
Your whole life. Oh, I didn't know you were born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
born and raised.
Damn. Well, then I kind of want to reverse back to like when when were some of like the first like inspirational like tattoo things that stood out to you? You had
first inspirational tattoo
like
things?
Anybody that like even just seeing like a tattoo where you're like
being inspired by tattoo artwork has gone back pretty far for me. I mean, just looking in magazines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right out of high school is when I found tattooing and started doing that. So back then you kind of had to work to find that content.
Yeah.
You couldn't just jump on social media and see all the best tattoo work and artwork out there. So you kind of had to know, what mediums to find, the cool stuff and like the really good tattoos. And, that's what I did. I searched pretty deep to find like what I liked. And once I started really getting inspired by certain people's work, I think it kind of jumped me into enjoying tattoo art more and kind of more focusing on that. Yeah.
Were you like me? Did you kind of merge from like just watching graffiti and then seeing graffiti guys get into tattooing?
I think that was probably a little bit later for me. I started seeing some of the guys that I was watching doing graffiti kind of come into tattooing. Yeah. And by that point, I was already tattooing too. So I was feeling like I was part of that.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a little bit older than me. Do you ever go down to like Tower Records and like dig through like all the graffiti magazines and tattoo magazines at that time, the big one on Sahara?
Tower Records?
Yeah.
Tower Records, Big B's, Odyssey Records.
Yeah,
I was frequenting all those places. Yeah, Tower Records had a good selection of magazines, so I was always in there stealing them for sure.
My dad was into Harleys too, so we just had like a lot of tattoo like culture around us too. Did you grow up like
that was some of the first magazines you could see tattoos in were, you know what I mean, like the fucking Easy Rider or whatever it was. Yeah.
Dang, do you remember like what was it?
I still have a lot of those. I still have some of those old magazines. Some of the first like tattoo content I had, I still got.
What were you drawing back there like when you first started getting into tattooing?
I think just all the same shit that I'm doing now, but just shitty versions of it. You know what I mean? Skulls and snakes and flowers and all that stuff. I've always kind of been into like I started out tattooing the same shit I'm doing now.
Yeah, you didn't go through like tribal phases and stuff like that.
I didn't have like a huge like a many year gap of trying to like find myself. I kind of right when I jumped in, I started doing weird skulls and funky looking stuff, and I just kind of do the same version of that now, but better.
It's a little more polished.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. So, well, who were you like first? How'd your apprenticeship go, or how'd you get into tattooing?
I kind of fell into tattooing just looking for an art form that I could, you know, take and be career driven by.
Yeah.
I was, I think in high school, probably looking more to do like a graphic design gigs. And I think I got a little bit of experience like watching other people that were already established in that. And they weren't really doing like their own personal creative projects.
No.
They're working for a company or a thing or not necessarily doing their own personal work. And that I think pushed me more into tattooing where I seen like creating from your own personal, you know what I mean, bank is way more important and unique than most other art careers out there.
Yeah, we get spoiled. I mean, most of us, as long as we're
as long as you're making cool stuff
and continue to try to push yourself
and you're consistent,
and
you're going to be doing that for a long time, probably.
Yeah, no shit. Dang. So tattooing, you saw stability in tattooing?
Even back then, I seen like strong stability in tattooing. Even though we weren't making the type of money that we are now, it still worked. And I was at the shop every day and I was motivated. And, you know, I'd convince all my friends, family to get tattooed by me. And anybody who was willing to sit down, I'll tattoo them, you know? So I think that kind of persistence does go a long way.
Showing up
if you hold on to it.
Showing up is everything, dude. You don't have to be the best either.
You don't just have to be the best, but you fucking show up every day. Something's gonna happen.
Theo Vaughn.
Something good's gonna happen.
There was some quote he said the other day. He was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm gonna show up tomorrow and try to figure it out.
Well, I'm fucking still there.
Dude, and you progress better and better every single day as long as you're putting that time and energy and that love into it.
Correct.
And you're seeing it, dude. You're seeing it. I mean, I'm seeing it from you.
Thank you.
It's fucking fantastic,
Thank
dude.
you.
I was like diving deep on your Instagram and your progression and your style, your color palette's unique. You know, you have this unique in a world where like of neo-trad female faces, you have your own unique kind of this like gypsy. You're kind of going, it's like almost like gypsy-ish. I don't know what it is. Like how to describe.
It's hard to stand out nowadays because a lot of what you see is copy and paste and filtered through the same things over and over again. So to have any type of uniqueness in your work at all is really special.
Yeah. And I see in your tattooing, I see the way you kind of like posterize your like flat image, like the shapes of your color and everything.
Yeah.
You do it in your murals too. So like,
I try to keep things pretty simple and easy to understand, easy to read.
Well, like for longevity too, for tattooing, I mean, it's not like a bunch of heavy blends that could be potentially like torn up or anything, it seems.
Yeah. I try to keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
Easy to understand, easy for me to execute too.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, so you're like all map it out to where it's almost like color by number, kind of, you know? It's like real, just so simple and bold and looks like it's built to last.
Yeah. I push like more detail and, you know, more color blends in certain pieces that I feel like needs it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for the most part, I try to keep it as simple as possible.
I mean,
for all those reasons that you just said,
it looks great, dude. I've really enjoyed it, and like I'm a huge fan of skulls and anybody that's illustrating skulls constantly. You know,
Thank
and
you.
Definitely have like your reapers are some of the fucking hardest reapers out there.
Thanks,
think,
dog.
dude.
Yeah,
it's
thank
dope.
you.
Dude.
Thanks. Yeah,
it's real cool, man. I always like
pride myself on a good reaper. You know,
I hope he's inspired me. I want to sit down and do some reapers, or I need to get a reaper from you. That would be dope, dude.
Yeah.
So everything else, like you've been keeping inspired. You guys do quite a bit, like convention wise. You guys get out and about.
I would say, you know, when you say we, as the shop, we just did a convention all together. Everybody showed up in Iowa 2 weeks ago, and that was really good. I had a great time doing that. That was the first time we've done like a whole shop trip where we all showed up.
That's cool.
But I'm only doing maybe a couple conventions a year.
Yeah.
Right now I'm not really, you know
Just
what I
like
mean?
to
I'm
stay
not
at home.
really out there that much.
Yeah.
You know, I like being home with the fam and the dogs and
dude, I'm telling you, man.
I've feeding the plants and make sure everything's good, and you know, that's really peaceful for me. So
your kids are older? You have two? Or
I have two daughters. One's 17 and one's 7.
Oh, okay. You got a gap there.
Yeah, it's about a 10-year gap there.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's awesome. Enjoy being a dad?
I love it.
It's the fucking best.
That's the best. Yeah. At 10 years old, I started over and I was like, let's have another one. You know, let's do this again.
Yeah. Mine are itty bitty
I had my first one when I was 24.
Oh, youngster.
So,
dude.
you know, I was really trying to, you know, create some kind of stability in my life. So I was really focused on, you know, career and doing all those things when she was young. So I feel like I did like, you know, miss some things. And with my new daughter, I'm trying to like
zone
get
in.
that back and really, you know, like, you know, appreciate these young years, you know, while she's little, because I see my oldest daughter get old and it's
hard.
It's awesome to see her, you know, grow and be her own person, but at the same time I miss, you know, her being a little nugget too.
Yeah, dude.
It's the best time ever.
Yeah, mine are just turned 5 and 7. So
yeah, it's the best.
That's another reason why I'm not out doing conventions or anything.
They yell, "Daddy!"
Yeah.
Daddy's
Oh
home.
my god.
It's the best.
I tell my daughter every day, I'm like, I want to record it when you see me and you come running to me every day. I'm like fortunate enough because of our flexibility and what we do, I'm able to pick them up every day and drop them off.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's important.
Yeah,
it's really important.
So you feel like you're finding a good like work-life balance?
Yeah, balance is super important to me. So
yeah.
I feel like you know what I mean. It gets wonky here and there, and you have to prioritize certain things, you know, over family sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's just part of living.
Yeah.
You know, so you make up for it when you're in your downtime.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your work week like? You do 4 days a week?
I'm usually 5 days a week in the shop, Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 6 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not terrible. You do a lot of your drawing and everything there.
I do most of my drawing at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually a couple days before, the night before, I'm like in bed watching Netflix and drawing for hours.
So much just to get
I mean, I used to be in my office just at the drawing table for hours and hours hunched over on my chair, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's like with the iPad, you kind of just take it wherever through the house and, you know, work on things as you move around and do stuff.
That's most of your process these days? You do a lot of your illustration just on iPad?
For the most part, yeah. I do a lot of just like sketching and just roughing simple stuff out of my head on paper and, you know, little sketchbooks and things. And sometimes I'll take that stuff and take a picture of it with the iPad and then, you know, I'll run that.
It's hard not to, dude. The
but
iPad
mainly
is such
it's
a
sketching on the iPad.
tool.
And it's so easy.
It's very fluid for me. I the second I touched it, I don't know. I was just
really.
Like, never
it took me some
back.
time to get used to like the plastic on glass feel.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have that gritty pencil to paper where you can really feel it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I struggle so much I work with like tracing paper and light tables and colored pencils forever. And I just draw like real hard. And I'm just going through a pencil like every, 30 minutes in your drawing. And so I don't know why. It's just like I found this ability just to like be loose and like not. It's almost like I could fucking relax with it or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you have every application, every tool out there to be successful. You just have to find the shit that works for you too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. So that's like, I don't know, man. I fucking like I don't want to jump all over the place, but that kind of leads me into like your murals and stuff too. Is like, do you do a lot of all of that through the iPad too? And
yeah, the mural stuff is now all iPad driven.
Yeah. That's cool. And you project and stuff. So
I tend to use a projector if I can. A lot of spaces won't allow you to if you're tight.
Too tight,
Yeah,
or
if you're
like
a tight
too much light.
space or there's too much light or you can't back up far enough to get a big wall or, whatever it might be. But if I can, yes, I'm using the projector to get it on there.
Dude, and for the listeners, like if you don't know, you got to get in and check out Brett's murals. Like I don't even know how many times during like just going out in town I run across your murals here in Las Vegas. It's like crazy, dude.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's like everywhere. I go.
I got a lot of them out there. Yeah,
eat like Greek food the other day, and I look up and I was like, okay,
at Maracay.
Yeah,
nice, good spot.
Yeah,
really good spot. Yeah,
good.
they have a ton of locations. I've probably done 7 or 8 Zeus's for them now.
Yeah, I think I was out at the Centennial one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. And
great guys. The guys who own the place,
cool.
They're awesome dudes. Shout out to them.
And that's been like a big, I don't want to call it a side hustle, but it seems like it's almost like half of your work week almost.
Yeah,
like you're very consistent.
I think we could probably call it a side hustle.
Yeah.
But it's pretty lucrative for me. So
yeah,
to call it a side hustle seems
I know
to kind of downplay it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's definitely something I do less than tattooing. I'm at the shop every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mural stuff stays pretty consistent.
Dude,
yeah, so I've always got a job I'm working on somewhere.
Yeah,
doing something.
It's great, dude.
I mean, I love it.
Oh yeah, and you're fucking good at it, dude. It's
Thank you.
I really, really enjoy seeing your work. You scale things so well, and back to like just your style like crosses over into tattooing and back and forth on the murals, but just the color palettes and everything are so strong, dude. And
I feel
bold
like,
and simple.
Thank you. I feel like I learned a while back that I needed some consistency between my tattoo work and like the mural work that I was starting to do, because a lot of people were starting to like, connect the two.
Yeah.
So I realized that, all right, I have to make my stuff really noticeably me.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you might see a mural out there of a giant hawk or something, and it might look just like a tattoo that I might have made for somebody. So, I feel like that's a really valuable thing to, to be noticed like that.
Has that been a challenge to always get clients on board with that same style, or
not necessarily? I think most people that are hiring me already know the type of work I do and are familiar with what I'm going to provide them already. So yeah, I just do that. Yeah. And most of the time I get the best response from like doing what I think is best, or doing what I think is, the right way, or what if I'm really into something, I feel like that's when I'm going to get the best response from my client, or whoever's hiring me for that job.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally seeing your stuff like from alleys downtown to Allegiant Stadium, like Atomic Golf, like doing massive murals in highly trafficked, like really cool places.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so dope.
Yeah, you can find my work anywhere from the Raider Stadium to down in the tunnels underneath the stadium. So I'm willing to do the thing.
Did you have a long history of, say, the illegal graffiti before, or were you?
I've always been really. I've always been really intrigued by graffiti and involved in it in a way, but it's never been my focus. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just something that I enjoy. I like watching the scene. I like knowing the guys, and you know what I mean? It's just something that I like. So I keep in tap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I partake here and there, but I'm so busy with life and work that, that's like something I do for fun here and there.
Okay. Yeah. Get loose a little every once in a while still.
Yeah, it's fun to get out there and explore.
Yeah, like
you know
that.
What I mean? Get around and, just get out in the streets with your friends and, make some art somewhere. It's fun.
Fuck yeah.
Very liberating.
Great. Yeah.
Doing something not for, for monetary gain or anything. Just to have fun. Just go throw some paint on the walls. Feels good.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just downtown recently. I saw some, God, why am I brain farting the rapper Mask? The
MF Doom?
MF Doom, yeah. Just like as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, it was like right in alley. Or those are things you just go out there and do for fun.
I did right before Christmas last year.
Oh, okay.
And got a great response from it.
Fuck yeah.
Just like I said, like one of those things you do for no monetary gain, you're not doing it for anybody just for you, specifically, just for myself. You know what I mean? We had an older one there that got
damaged or something.
Yeah, it just got tagged over by other graffiti artists. So I went and did a brand new one because it was one of those pieces that just was like loved by the community over there.
Yeah.
Even though it was just a quick throw up kind of tribute to my man after he passed away that year.
Yeah, he passed away during
And
COVID,
when I redid it, it's probably one of the best responses I got from a mural painting ever, on social media, which was unexpected. Was not expecting that.
I mean, it's like obviously another like reflection of your style. It's just so bold and clean and just, I don't know. I love it because it's just everything you do is very legible.
Thank you.
It just reads well.
Yeah, that one, I feel like that one struck because it looked really classic. Like I kind of took a few different album covers and ran right in between all of those and created something new. So seeing that mural, you might think like, oh, that's something I've seen before, but it was my creation.
Yeah, and then I was digging to you. I didn't realize you did the giant rocket ship on the side of the Area 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 90% of the big murals that are on the outer facade and like inner facade of the new Area 15.
Yeah, the Experience District.
Yeah.
And is that all open? Can we go down there and check?
It's totally open now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a few businesses that haven't quite fully opened all the way, but Universal Horror is open. There's another thing over there called the Arc, which is like a 3D immersive experience ride, kind of like a Universal thing too. And then they got some like little restaurants, and they're going to open a selfie museum right there and some other cool stuff.
Hey, let me ask you this. Have you noticed that the better your tools are, the smoother everything feels in the shop? Here at Maverick Supply Co., we're serving a community that we're actively a part of. We want artists to have access to gear they can trust from people who actually understand tattooing and what it takes day to day. So if you want the tools that make the most sense for your tattooing business, scan the QR code on screen or hit the link in the show notes below. Now back to the show. Are any projects coming in town that you're you think you might be able to want to work on? Or
I got some really big important projects coming up. Stuff that I'd really don't want to discuss. You know what I mean? Just because I don't want to fucking ruin it before it even, you know what I mean? Secures itself.
Yeah.
But big things coming. Big things coming always.
There's just, I don't know, man. It seems like every major venue in town, you've been able to somehow get.
Fucking got in there. I
It's
don't know,
dope, dude.
Yeah, I got in there.
Cool
Just just trustworthy guy.
Yeah, you show up and you put in the work and it's fucking good and that's all. It's they can ask for.
Yeah, I'm there and I give 100% every time. I try my damn hardest. So,
do you do much collaborative work?
With the murals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of collaborative work. I work with one of my good friends, Dana Anderson. He has a group called the ISI Group.
Yeah. Okay.
And he has a ton of artists on his roster. Yeah. And a lot of the projects we do involves more than just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I do a lot of collaborative mural work. Yeah.
You do much collaborative tattoos?
Here and there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we have a ton of collaborative tattoos going on at the shop.
Yeah.
I've gotten in on a couple of them, but I'd like to do more.
Yeah, I've never even really done one before.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's cool.
It's fun working with your friends, doing anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Getting to do a big fun tattoo on a fun client with your bud.
Yeah,
to get better than that.
You know? You seem to keep yourself pretty low key as far as putting yourself out there, right? I mean, as far as this type of stuff,
I'm not very good at social media or I just
kind of put your art up and
I just kind of do stuff how it feels right that day. You know what I mean? I'm not really that great at managing myself as a business. I'm just good at creating
full
every
artist
day.
Forward.
Yeah. Maybe I should hire an art agent or something. One of them's out there.
Yeah, it's
contact me.
I don't know. Sometimes I wish I was a little less entrepreneur driven and then more just let it out. I feel like I always have to have a reason nowadays to book time to paint and stuff.
So one of the reasons why Dana is so valuable to me, you know what I mean? Because he fulfills that, part of my personality that I lack in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm the creative guy. I just come through and I just make stuff.
Show up. Good. Yeah.
I make the stuff and then I show up.
Yeah, man. It's a very, very fun to watch you work and stuff. But so before you were at One Block, you were with Aaron at Heritage.
I was at
for
Aaron
years,
Neiman
right?
at Heritage Tattoo on Sunset and Sand Hill in Las Vegas for 11 years, I
No
think.
shit.
Yeah, it's 10 or 11 years I was there.
Yeah.
Over a decade for sure.
Aaron's
And
cool.
I've worked with Aaron before that at Pussycat Tattoo.
Oh,
I
okay.
worked with him there for about 4-ish years or something. He's the one who vouched for me to get hired over there, and
Yeah. Dang,
I love that
nice.
guy.
Yeah. So did you open up Heritage with him, or I mean, around that time?
Well, when he decided to start Heritage and open up the shop, I stayed at Pussycat for, I don't know, it was a handful of months, maybe an extra 8 or 9 months or something, just to kind of smooth out everybody leaving.
Oh,
Aaron left.
Oh, okay.
And the boss Dirk, he knew that I was planning on leaving too.
Yeah.
And then Aaron took his apprentice. So that was 3 people essentially that he was losing at once. So I tried to hold a little bit of loyalty there and stay at the shop for a little bit. Yeah. And I basically just let those guys build it all out, and then I showed up when it was all done.
That's awesome. How did your relationship with DJ get built up, and how did you guys end up coming together?
DJ's just a mutual friend that I've had in town for ever since I can remember, and he's just a huge inspiration for me. Yeah. So he's always just somebody that I've valued their friendship. And, we've talked about opening a shop for years. And at some point, I think it just finally came to be the right time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
So it was good. I was in a good place, and, he was ready. So we did the thing.
He seems like just a real nice, steady, consistent
he's
dude.
He's very grounded and down to earth for being such a superstar, honestly.
Dude, it's funny because I always forget. I've never even seen Ink Master before, so I just think of him as...
You should watch it. It's a show about tattoos. You like tattoos, right?
I don't really watch too much TV, but so I just never even think of him as that. I just think of him as the dude that is super talented that was at Bad Apple for years, you know? And I've just really always enjoyed seeing his work and his illustration and stuff come through.
Yeah, I know he's that, and I see it every day, but I don't really, I don't treat him like that, guys. Treat him like...
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
A homie,
I'll watch it sometime.
Check it out. There's some good seasons, man.
Oh, well, there's so many talented
The season that Bobby was on was really good. Bobby and Freddie. James
they were on at the same season?
Yeah, James Tex and his son.
No, I know. I haven't seen
ruled that season. That's a good one to watch. You know what I mean?
Those dudes are slayers.
Yeah, there's lots of good seasons with tons of great artists.
It's really cool. Over the years, they really did bring in so much talent, and it was cool to see the stubbornness of the tattoo community kind of give in, and then actual...
Yeah, I think the stubbornness kind of gave in because the show got more quality too. It started off, I would say, a little cheesy and maybe a little misunderstood. And then as they got better judges and better tattooers and kind of figured out what they were doing a little bit, everything became a lot more organic, and I think tattooers appreciate that, real tattooers.
Yeah, and we see how it can change your whole career trajectory.
Amazing.
It's really cool for a lot of people.
Trust me, I get the front row seat.
Of
how it can just boost your career trajectory up into the top tiers.
It's really wild. Dude.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, and it's
what a cool thing. What a cool thing to have, right?
Yeah.
Or would we rather have it or not? You know what I mean? I
say
think
it's great.
Ink Master has done a lot for tattooing industry in general.
Yeah, dude.
Lots of positive things. I mean, we can probably talk about a few negatives, but more positives than negatives.
Yeah,
for sure.
Are you pretty good these days about staying away from all the negative shit? I've never really seen you as much of a grumpy guy.
Yeah, I'm a no nonsense, no drama, no bullshit, no negativity kind of person.
Me too, man.
You can bring that to me, but
I run
it's gonna fucking bounce right off of this.
I
can't do it.
Yeah,
it just doesn't vibe with me.
Yeah, I don't think it helps any of us out in any way, shape, or form.
Anybody who knows me knows that I'm very even keel. I'm the same person every day. I'm always in a good mood. I'm always super positive.
Yeah.
And I try to push that on,
anybody
I come in contact with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too easy to get caught up in negativity, and it definitely doesn't help you or the people around you in any way, shape, or form. So
in a world full of hate and negativity, you have to bring as much love to that as you can to balance it all out. And I'm all about balance. So
yeah, I'm sometimes like unfortunately a little too nice, and I have let like certain people kind of like let that shit in around me a little bit, and then but I'm pretty good about not, letting it stick.
Yeah. Once
and
it starts
artists-
affecting you, you realize like,
Yeah,
oh,
or
I
like
have to do something about
or
this
other
because it's
people in my
affecting me
shop.
negatively.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I can't. You gotta go, bro. Like, I mean, I love
It only
you,
takes
but, like,
one person.
Yeah, and it just spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, it takes one person.
Yeah, it's not
fuck
good.
it all up.
So it took me a lot of years of like managing people and our peers and friends, and just finally being like, yo, like being able to deliver the message in a good way. Like, hey, I think it's time for you just to move on. Like, I just can't have that shit. It's like,
yeah, you attract to the people that fit you best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I always just, I don't know.
You need like 10 DOS Franks in the shop, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just people that are just like smiling and like, that just, it brings in the better vibes for the client too, and everybody. Like overall, it's just way healthier just to stay fucking positive. If you feel shitty or you're negative, like go for a fucking walk, dude. It's like
good.
it's too beautiful, man. There's too much shit
having
going
good
on.
energy is key.
I feel like there lately is just like too much,
Well,
and that's one thing about social media
there's a
is
ton
like
of bad
it's like,
shit going on. So it's like
everywhere.
Yeah, you can really get caught up in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can recognize it, be aware of it, and then move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Try to focus on some more positive shit.
You dealt with some haters and stuff over the years.
Always.
Yeah, you're really good at putting your art out there, you know. So
you gotta have
people.
You gotta have people that hate you. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's
like
true because it means you're
if you don't
doing
have
something
those
that's
people,
different.
then like, you're just not doing it enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You gotta have people that fucking just don't like you. And they don't even know why.
And they don't even know why.
Yeah. You know?
So true.
It's all right.
They'll
figure it out.
I fuck them with a smile, I say. Sometimes I'll even send them product or something like that. Just here's
just
some
you
t-shirts,
overcome
man. I just hope
that.
you're good,
You know what I
dude.
mean? It's like,
everything's good.
Cares.
That's fun. So I don't know. Yeah, overall, you do you like where you're at with tattooing and everything? I mean, it's fucking.
Yeah, I feel like
seems
right
you're in a
now,
really good place.
Right now, like we kind of already talked about, I have all these amazing artists working at the shop. It's incredibly inspirational. Like it pushes me to just want to be like so much better. You know what I mean? Then you know how you get into this comfortable space where you make your stuff and everything's cool, and then someone comes around that really blows your mind.
Yeah,
and it makes you go like, "Fuck, I can do better."
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah. Good.
Even though I'm really confident with what I'm creating, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can do better. Yeah. There's always room for improvement, and I'm trying to like improve right now.
Are you good at not being too hard on yourself though? Like
no, I'm super hard on myself. I'm super hard on myself. Just like I feel like we all are.
Yeah.
We're artists.
Yeah.
We're like
sensitive.
We're incredibly sensitive about our work.
We can beat ourselves up.
We only want to hear like the best things. But we're also students of the game, no matter how long you've been doing it. So I think as long as you stay in that mindset, you're going to keep growing. You know, once you say fuck it, like this is fine, then you plateau, and
no, I know
there's no reason to really even try any harder at that point, right?
No, it's a very dangerous place to be.
I don't think it's a very healthy place to be. You want to always be growing, even if you're growing small amounts. 1%. It's not like we have to fucking scale the whole mountain today. I just want to like make a little bit of progress each day.
I love the shop that you guys put together too. Like the aesthetics of it and everything. It's kind of like this fine art gallery, but it's still got some grit to it.
Thanks.
Like how did that all come about? How did One Block? What's the name?
We decided on, I think before even looking at any units that were available, we decided on opening up a shop that looked more like a art gallery.
Yeah.
Because it's just the aesthetic that I think worked best for both of our personalities. Something really clean with bright artwork and like still being a comfortable place where you could get tattooed. But I don't think there's, a ton of shops out there that really look like that.
No.
So we were just trying to do something a little different, All the shops that I've ever worked in have been taxidermy on the walls and a ton of clutter. And not that I don't enjoy that. I love it. You know what I mean? It's what I've always been comfortable in. But this new shop, we just wanted to try a little bit new aesthetic, something a little bit cleaner and brighter. Yeah,
it's clean, it's bright, it's fun. But like I said, it's still just like the level of artwork. I mean, the amount of artwork in there is awesome. And they even do the giant sculptures in the middle and everything.
Thank you.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I want to come by and do like a little video tour too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you should. Please do.
Yeah, you guys got some great like art, like It's a lot of like Reader One stuff, and
we got
uh,
a lot of Michael Reeder stuff,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of artwork from my homies in there, and I think me and DJ have like the same kind of taste and
Yeah.
style of like fashion and artwork, so
Yeah.
it was really easy to like. I had a lot of work, a big collection of artwork that we put into the shop before we opened. So we didn't really have to like buy a bunch of artwork and get it in there. But since we've opened, we're like constantly switching out a lot of the paintings and a lot of the art in there and trying to keep it fresh and new. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I was even DJ was giving me a little tour the other day, and there was some beautiful work in there that he said was a client of yours that was an electrician.
Yes.
And paints on the side.
Yeah, his name is Nick.
Oh my God,
his
dude,
Instagram is art at Wicked or Wicked Art. I forget exactly what, but he's one of Emmanuel Sacred Crow's older clients when he was working with us at the shop, and he's an electrician. He was, he was off of work for all of December and I think part of January. So he was just at the shop with us painting.
That's fun.
For like 4 weeks straight. He
just
did
hanging out, seeking his own
like 2 giant paintings. He did a painting for DJ, did a painting for me. I think he did another small painting for Emmanuel, and we have 2 or 3 of them up at the shop right now. They're incredible.
So good.
It's amazing
the
that
color
this guy's a fucking electrician when he's banging out art like this, and so effortlessly too. It's like I watched him like sketch and draw a bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, this guy's got so much talent. Like,
dude, it's cool.
Why is he fucking wiring up?
No, I know, but at the same time, I like that he's got this like consistent, like that's not an easy career, but he's doing his thing. He's probably making great money, and he's just creating like stellar artwork on the side. Is pretty badass. Yeah,
and he's not really like posting it either. Like I think a bunch of the paintings that he did for us, he never even put online or.
No shit.
I'm just like, wow, this guy is incredible. He doesn't show anybody.
Yeah, that's a shame, kind of though.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
he's so good. Yeah, we love him.
So where did the name
Nick,
One Block come
from? One Block started.
We're looking sponsored over here today.
Thank you. Your gear on. Thanks, Doc. One Block started at the first unit that we looked at. It was over off Fremont and Main Street or something.
Yeah,
and it was 1 square block. Like it was its own freestanding building.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were just out in the parking lot, chopping it up, like talking about names, and One Block popped out of DJ's mouth, or I don't remember, but it was just like, oh, well, that sounds like certified.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It just sounds like stable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's fun.
So yeah, I mean, we just kind of stuck with that, and we took it to the new shop. We didn't end up getting that building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that it fell through, and it was a real old shitty building. Anyways, but it was in a cool area. It was like a block away from Fremont Street, and it was sick right there.
Doing downtown. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it would have been a mess.
Yeah. It would have been. Where you're at right now.
It would have been a terrible thing.
Well, you guys got some.
The inside of the building was really cool. It was like old funky building, all open on the inside, and it was right down in the mix of all the fucking chaos over there.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, this might be fun.
Yeah. Your spot now is great though.
Yeah. Our location now is like perfect, but that's where One Block came from. It was that One Block.
That's fun.
I think just the name, just like I said, like sounds like a solid foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first block, the first block you build with, or
Yeah, it doesn't ever have to make sense either. Just
doesn't
like you said,
necessarily
it just gives
have
you
to
a
make
feel.
sense. Yeah, it's just like everybody asks us where the name comes from, just because it's different. It sounds cool. Sounds like it came from somewhere, but
yeah. You guys been having fun with your merch lately? It's cool.
Yeah, we've been trying to like consistently drop merch. Right now we did this like bootleg New Balance rip.
It looks great.
That's
dude.
fun.
Yeah, you got like 5 panels, right? Or those 5 panels, the hats.
Yeah.
What do they call those?
Yeah. 5 panels.
Yeah. So is the goal to continue to grow that? And
we're just trying to drop merch every couple of months just to keep things fresh and like just keep stuff cool.
Do you guys plan on doing like putting on that online, or you have that on site? No, or just do like
really
local pickup,
right now we're just doing local pickup, and we'll ship out.
Yeah. Oh, you will? Okay.
But we just do it through DMs on Instagram. Like we'll throw a shirt up. You know what I mean? And if you want one, DM us, and Jenna, DJ's wife, will get you on the books, take your payment, send you out your package, and do all that stuff.
Well, if you ever have any questions about e-commerce, let me know.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, once we scale up,
it's not as complicated as it seems.
Sure.
Well, I mean, to get it started.
I know we
to
could
do what
make
you
it
guys
probably a lot easier on DJ's wife if she didn't have to bag and tag and send and ship and receive all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably something we'll be looking into. Yeah,
That's cool. So overall, though, people can just stop in the shop and
Yeah.
And, do you guys have like consistent hours? I mean, I know it's mostly appointment only, right? So
yeah, like I said, I mean, we all kind of show up for the same schedule. So Tuesday through Saturday, someone's going to be there between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. And then you're shut down Sunday, Monday, unless you're
For
in
the
there
most
on your
part,
own,
yeah.
like-
I mean, we have like a lot of guest artists coming into town, so they might be there on a Sunday, Monday, or we might be pop in on Sunday, Monday, do some tats or whatever. But
yeah,
for the most part, yeah, we probably won't be there Sunday ever.
yeah.
And then Monday, it's a maybe, you know.
You like most of your guest artists, just kind of it's all just word of mouth through friends and everything. Just pop into town and
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's word of mouth. I mean, since we're a pretty new shop, like we're not getting a ton of walk-ins and stuff yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're coming to the shop to do a guest spot, you definitely need to drum up your own clientele and
Yeah.
bring somebody.
Is that something you would ever want to do? Is evolve it to where it was more of like an open spot where you could have like other artists or something, you know, take walk-ins?
I mean, I think that would be great, but just the quality of artists that we're hiring right now just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Just wondering.
So, yeah, it's great. We love when people walk into the shop and want like a small tat. It makes us feel great, even though we can't do it.
Do it. Aw.
Even though we don't have time to do it, we love it. Yeah,
yeah,
please
I mean-
come into the shop and ask us.
Yeah.
If we do walk-ins, we probably won't be able to, but it feels nice.
Yeah, man, that's fun. You guys, yeah, I mean, you have definitely have an opportunity to do whatever the fuck you want. You know, you have like such a great, healthy crew there that seems to all have such a good following too. You could
Thank
kind
you.
of do whatever.
Yeah, we've got a great crew right now, and man, like just like I said, like being born and raised here, we have all the resources and all the things that we need to succeed. So
Yeah, man.
we're in a really good position.
Shit. What else you got planned for tattooing?
Man, I don't know. Like I said, like I'm just trying to like just focus on quality and kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, just bumping up my designs and just feeling a little bit better about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I don't know if I have any like
Long
big
term.
grandiose plans for
Yeah.
tattooing. Yeah, I just want to keep doing the same thing I've been doing now.
Yeah.
You know?
How's your mind and body holding up though?
I feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really good. Bodies, I wake up tight sometimes, tight
Yeah.
shoulders, and you know, my back starts getting sore after long hours in a week. But other than that, I feel really good. You know, I do my little yoga
That's what I was
here
gonna say.
and
You could
there.
come hit some yoga
yeah,
with me, man.
I do my stretches, and
Yeah.
you know, I stay active doing the mural stuff too.
Yeah.
So that gets me out of the shop and not so hunched over every day, and
Yeah.
it gets me, you know, like climbing up ladders and reaching and doing all the things. So that helps out too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel really good.
Your eyes are good and everything?
Yeah.
See, my eyes started taking a shit big time, and like I got my fucking readers now, so I can see. Like,
Really?
I'm like, I hate it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel so old.
my eyes are good. I've always been, I think it's farsighted, where I can't see very good far away,
Yeah.
but I can see really good up close.
Yeah.
So
I was good.
I'm good.
Until like 4 years ago.
I'm good. Yeah, for now I'm good. Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, doing some stretching is everything.
Yeah,
dude.
I look
like,
up and I can't see shit, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like right that tat in front of my face, I can see really well.
Good. I don't know. You got any like inspiration or like favorite artists outside of your shop right now? And you have so many people coming through, but anybody out there that you're
Some of my favorite artists right now, Filthy Art
Filthy
Tattooer.
Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's killing it. We got Jack Gox. He's gonna be at the shop, I think mid-June.
Yeah.
He's killing it. Who else, man? There's so many great
I know.
tattooers out there. I mean,
I like-
I'm so inspired by some of my best friends, Aaron Riddle,
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sacred Crow.
Yes.
Those guys.
Does he come out and do guest spots again or like
he
regularly
hasn't
or no?
been out since he left the
Oh,
shop
okay.
last year, but you know, he's just trying to get back in the zone over there in
Yeah.
Columbus. So
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he'll be doing a guest spot with us soon here.
I need to hit him up. I asked him to do one of those trains.
Yeah.
I never heard back from
His
him.
trains are sick.
They're so dope.
They're so cool.
yeah, I want to get
He
one
has,
from him.
I think, one of the best styles out there
Yeah.
in tattooing right now.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
dope,
Like if we're going to talk about the most unique style in tattooing, you know what I mean? I think Emmanuel's probably on way up there on the top of my list. Yeah. He's great.
Our good kind too. I don't know why he just popped in my head. Like
Yeah.
he just I just love looking at his shit too.
Sick.
But he has a kind of real really animated style, but it's like so polished and fucking
It's great. I love it.
It reminds me of his stuff too.
Love it.
Yeah. I don't think we kind of like talked about partnerships too, and like having good quality people behind you. I think you asked me one time at a convention, you were like, do you think you'd be where you're at today without your wife? And I was like, whoa, I don't know. That was kind of an interesting question. Cause like, I feel like I was pretty successful before her and, and happy and solid. And then you asked that and I'm like, yeah, but I don't think like all the shit that we have right now, like me personally, it sounds like DJ's wife's the same. It's like so good to have a more level head than I've ever had and it sounds like that's where you're at too. And having somebody behind you is just like the most healthy thing I think you can possibly do. Like,
yep.
It's so good for you, for your mental health, physical, fucking everything. Like
100%.
I definitely give my huge amount of credit just to having somebody that's there that can push you through those hard times and not somebody that pulls you down. And I've just been around so many tattooers, unfortunately, that I've watched and just have not good spouses. And it's just not a good thing, man. It's like
once you find a person who really uplifts you and motivates you to be the best version of yourself that you can be, I think a lot of things click. And especially if you're like working into that every day, those, having a strong female behind you is everything.
The best, dude. Yeah.
It'll push a man to do fucking conquer anything.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? But if
like,
there's nobody there,
you're
kind of just going off your own willpower. But if there's two people manifesting the same thing, it's going to happen faster for sure. Especially if you have somebody who's like ride or die, strong, right behind you, understands you, fills in the gaps, does the things.
Not afraid to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, you need that.
Like I think we all need that brutal honesty more than anything. Like sitting around having people, I've watched this with tattooers for so long, like get gassed up from their clients, always telling them that they're their shit and blah, 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 and then they start to get this false like sense of, just giant head.
Your clients aren't going to tell you the honest truth.
No, I know.
Nah, but your fucking wife will. You know what I mean? Like,
or your homies.
I've shown Diana the drawings, you know what I mean? Plenty of times. And she's like, what the fuck is that? Or like, what's that thing? Yeah. And then I look and I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right.
I can specifically think of a tattoo that I actually followed through on and didn't really think, like, I thought I was nailing it.
Yeah.
And then I was at lunch with my wife one day and I showed her and she's just like,
the fuck do you do there?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And like still I can feel it today. I was
it's like but it's a good, you know what I mean? It's a very healthy like jab to your fucking ego.
Yeah, I was like so fucking melted all day. I was just
it's
like, fuck, dude.
It makes you step back and go like, oh yeah, I should
I
look at things with a more critical eye or
because I think I was like, I thought I was nailing it too, and sometimes you're doing it. And like, even things like this, like getting yourself, like just constantly pushing myself to do things like this. This is not something that's natural, like to sit down and try to like,
no, I'd rather not. Yeah, I'd rather not, but
it's hard and I'm trying, and it's fun. But I do like have this new, like interest and passion, and to be able to like sit down with artists like you that I've admired, like, throughout my career, it's cool now. It's like a new platform and I'm just trying to learn and do better and figure out where it can go, So
you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, man. It's
Kudos
cool.
to you.
It's like, I'm excited about like, I don't know. It's fun because we have these like light conversations at conventions or in passing or something, but to sit down, like I've sat down like with Gian and like a handful of your other homies and like,
oh, Gion's the fucking
he's so fun.
He's the funnest person to talk to about anything.
Yeah. Oh, and like
he's
talk
just
about
so
incredibly
animated.
fluid.
He's
yeah.
And an incredibly smart dude too. You know what I mean? For being so like, you know what I mean? Fucking cartoon character. He's a smart dude. Knows what he's doing.
Not afraid to put himself out there
great guy,
and just be himself. And I think that's that in itself is a challenge for us and as artists too. Cause like, I don't know why, like we all just kind of as artists like are naturally kind of introverts to an extent,
I would say so.
But then tattooing
I would say most artists are in some type of sense introverted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes a little something to pull you out of that.
Tattooing, I mean, did it for me.
Yeah.
You're forced to sit down
You have to be so personable. Yeah, you have to be so personable and you have to be like pretty locked in with people or else you'll be disconnected. And, that's not a way to form relationships with clients.
I'm like a huge, I can't handle like the headphone kind of like aspect to tattooing. I feel like unfortunately those people are like those tattooers are missing out on building all of these great relationships, like genuinely like the people that I want to like reach out for like mentorship or even any advice or anything now in my life are people I met through tattooing and people that I created those bonds with and now I call just to talk to.
And a lot of things that will benefit your personal life too. If you get into talking to somebody and it's how I met some of my favorite people. Yeah. It's just like getting to know them while I'm tattooing them. And then I realized that I really like this person.
Yeah. 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 And I think I learned a lot too, real quick through tattooing about not being judgmental. Like it's real easy to obviously like judge each other when we first meet each other, but then you sit down with somebody and then you see them from our standpoint in this state of vulnerability where they're going through hours and hours of pain with you on your ribs or something. You really get to learn about that person, like who they are, and they open up to you, which is so great. We've all learned that.
Open up to you. For me personally too, like someone will open up to me within the first 2 minutes of me tattooing them or whatever. And then like I'm interested too.
Yeah.
And I'm quite a bit nosy dude. You know what I mean? So I start asking questions, respectfully I start asking questions, you know what I mean? Because I'm curious.
No, for sure. And that's one of my most favorite things about tattooing. And so now it's like fun to kind of do this because I'm like, oh, okay, well now I'm doing it with like other tattooers and then we all have so much in common and it's really fun to just get down in there and learn from everybody.
Totally.
There's a lot to learn from each other. It's cool. I wanted to know more about your murals and like how that all came about. Your tattooing, where you want to go with tattooing. It's like,
dude, I just want to move up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever that means to me, I just want to just keep moving up.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it's gradual, if it's at a high pace, as long as I'm moving up and not staying too steady or moving down,
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah. No stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep this consistency going in my life is really my goal.
I'm seeing it, man. I'm watching it. It's gorgeous. Like it's really cool, man. It's just
Thank
like
you.
I'm like just a nerdy fan. So it's cool. Yeah, dude. I want to just continue to watch you grow. It's really cool. And I just thank you for coming by and hanging out.
Thanks
for
a
minute,
me.
Dude. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, we'll do another podcast where we talk about aliens and government conspiracies.
I know Bobby said he would come by, but he
or some shit.
He said he doesn't want to talk about tattooing at all.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring Bobby in, and we'll just have a line of things that we're gonna.
We gotta get Levi in here too, man. He says he's shy, but I think I think he is.
You're gonna have to have a whole.
Yeah,
have the whole itinerary ready for him.
Okay. Yeah. He's a sweetheart, dude.
Levi's the best.
Dude, talk about talent, man.
Oh, man.
I'm like, every time I look at anything he does, I'm just like, what the fuck?
Just incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Just the amazing tattooer. Everything he does.
Dude, that's another thing, too, is like, the same with you. Like, I read this when airbrushing was big in the 90s. I used to read the airbrush magazines and stuff. And this guy wrote, or he was just saying in an article about how if you can get really good at drawing female faces, you can be so incredibly successful in your career. Like, I don't know what that is about just us as men and women are attracted to like the beauty of a woman. And
I think just nailing a female face is incredibly difficult.
It's very difficult.
Anybody can jump
throw
on
the hand in there too.
Anybody can jump on the internet and grab a beautiful lady's face and trace it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
And is that something that you've always like, I mean, you've been doing them for a while, and do you still just fully sketch everything from scratch? And you do a little combination,
I do a
right?
little combination of everything.
Like rough sketches over a face.
I'll
and
rough
then you
sketch over a face. If that doesn't work, I'll just rough sketch out a face. Sometimes I'll have something in my head that's very particular that I want to get on paper, and like I don't have a reference for it, or I can't find one. So I'll rough that and I'll rough that until it works. Or you know what I mean? There's not like an exact process that I follow, but just whatever's organic in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the makeup and the hair is always like super intimidating.
Thank you.
You know,
yeah.
Really
It's
cool.
it's hard, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try.
Yeah. And you pushed through and progressed like so well. Is that, I don't know, you got any advice for like younger tattooers that are trying to jump in and attack that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, don't try to emulate anybody else. Just try to do whatever you feel is right and not what you think somebody else got success from doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what's ultimately what's going to, make you into your own artist. That's what's going to create some type of uniqueness in your work that's personable to you. And that's what people want to see. They don't want to see the chopped down version of like the other guy's stuff that's really good, who's already established, So
I feel like there's a lot of like very similar stuff out there. So when you do take the risks and you do take the chances of trying to do something unique, and that is kind of the only way you're ever really going to stand out.
There's like a feeling to something, you know what I mean, that like feels cool and feels right. And when something's a cheap version of something that feels cool and feels right, it's just that.
Yeah. I feel like we need to get off the internet too and like seek other inspiration as far as our art from like different cultures or different, or whatever.
Yep.
And just try to bring that into your styles.
I think tattooing needs that right now.
Yeah.
Maybe breaking out of the boundaries of what everybody's just been doing, you know what I mean, for the past 10 years over and over and over again, trying some new shit. Which I do see happening. Yeah. And, when you see it, you're like, wow, that's cool. You know what I mean? We need more of that. But that takes, that also takes clients to like understand that like new and unique stuff is not like, scary and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's not weird. It's fucking being weird is cool.
Do you feel like you ever had to really like try to sell your clients on newer stuff you were pushing?
Totally. I've sold clients on my shit for my whole entire career.
Yeah. And do you do it more with like a combination of your words, but plus like just literally showing them?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, showing a client a piece and then being able to explain that piece to them in a way that makes sense.
There's an art form in that.
Is it
too.
Yeah. If you can do that, then you'll probably be really successful with, you know what I mean, showing people and being confident about showing people your designs. Because sometimes it is hard, especially when someone comes to you for not something super specific. Yeah. And you have to kind of judge their personality, judge them as a person while maybe not ever spending more than 10 minutes with them before. You know?
So I was going to say, like, do you spend a decent amount of time trying to talk, like if it's a newer client like that and you're not 100% sure on their direction, do you spend a lot more time talking to them and drawing for
I might spend some extra time just kind of feeling out them as a person.
Yeah.
And usually doing that, I can grab onto something that I feel is, you know what I mean, important to those people. Yeah. And I run with that.
I think that's good advice too.
Yeah. You have to be good at kind of really like listening very well and judging that person like in a way that is going to be helpful for you later. You know what I mean? But if you're only focusing on just the consultation details, you might miss out on those subtle things that kind of go like, oh, this guy likes this, or he's going to be into this, or, you know what I mean? I'll ask people other questions that don't even have to relate to, the designs that we're talking about, because I know that these questions are going to lead me to something that, you know what I mean, gets to know that person just a little bit better enough to where I can navigate designing for them in a way that I know is gonna hit.
I think that's like a simple lesson of just like, it's all you got to be willing to go above and beyond if you really want that, and you really want to push your art to that level and get somebody to purchase it and pay you what it's worth. Like, you have to be willing to sit down and talk to them longer and try to figure it out, and or just give them like a really, really thorough rendering and stuff too, like that most people can't see what you what you're doing. Oh, obviously, well, nobody can see what you're doing, you know, but like being able to like go that extra mile to get that artwork out and show them and not worry about like, maybe this guy fucking won't feel it, but
yeah,
at least you have it for the next client or something like that,
yeah.
you know, so
it is important though. If you can key in on that person's personality right away, then you'll be able to create better for them for sure.
Yeah. I just really appreciate you, man, coming by, dude. It was real cool to sit down with you, and I'm just excited to see. Like,
anytime. I'd like to come back and do it again.
Cool. I love it, dude. Let's get like one of the other guys in here too. Maybe I can set up 4 people now. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I can get a big one in here and get everybody rapping about whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Dude. Yeah. So I'm really excited about doing this and really like looking forward to reaching out. Also, like if you have any female tattooer friends, like I haven't had a whole lot of female guests, and we need more like fucking females. I don't know.
Should get Kelsey Lane on here.
Okay.
God, she's the best, and she's so fun to talk to.
Yeah, she's at Heritage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, she's my favorite. Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fucking A, dude. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Also, I spoke to was it Leanna? I don't know if I pronounced her name right. She's at Downtown. She does some real
she's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, she does some really
her tats
cool
are
shit,
sick.
dude. Yeah,
I love her tattoos.
I don't really know like how to describe that style of stuff that she's doing.
I don't
it's
know,
real
just
cool though.
Super fun, traditional.
Yeah,
bright
with this,
colors,
like, her unique like, illustration styles. Cool.
Yeah, she's great. I love her work.
And then Ashley, tattooer over at Painted Lady. Like her black and gray shit, fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, she's incredible.
I'm gonna try. I was trying to stop in there today and say hi to her again.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, she's sick.
But she can draw. Like, talk about putting on like women's faces. Like she can literally just draw a gorgeous woman's face and then just fucking tattoo it.
She's killing it. Yeah, love her work.
Really, really fast. We have so many fantastic tattooers in Las Vegas. Like,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. At first, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to get tattooers from all over the country, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I need to right now. Like, I have a list.
Quite a few that you got to run through first.
There's so many good tattooers in Las Vegas, and it's so cool to just see all different kinds of styles too. We've got like
tons of people guesting out here too. Vegas has always been one of those places easy for someone to fly into and have a good time for a few days. Or
if you ever know of anybody that want to stop by, just send them my way.
For sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. This is Support Your Local Tattooer. This is Brett Rosepiler. Where do we follow you at?
Just my first and last name, BrettRosepiler at Instagram.
Yeah, and check out One Block. Got some, like, honestly, one of the craziest lineups of tattooers in the country. Like, it's really wild.
One Block, Las Vegas. We're on Dean Martin, in between Russell and Sunset. We have Bobby Johnson, Glendale Bully,
Levi Murphy,
Freddie Albrighton, and Gian Carle soon.
Yeah. So Gian comes, like soon?
Soon.
I saw it on the Instagram.
Soon. Coming soon.
Okay, that's exciting. Shit.
And then DJ Tamby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then DJ.
And also DJ.
Yes. Oh, dudes. Well, thank you guys so much, man. And,
so thank you so much for having me.
Keep in touch, dude. Let's party.
All right. Party on. Party on, Wayne.
You know what I fucking forgot before we go?
Yeah.
I saw you in the bathroom at the Anderson Paak show, and I went to go get a vinyl, and you were like, pick me one up too.
I told you. Yeah. I was like, buy me one.
And I literally did.
I jokingly said, grab me one. Because I didn't want to wait in line for one, but I wanted one.
So I got you that one, dude, and it's fucking good, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. Cool. One of the best tiny desks.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, and
definitely
then I got,
up there.
Yeah. The Mac Miller one I got off of
might
there too.
Be the best.
Yeah.
Might be the top.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
But this is an incredible album.
This morning.
Man,
it's
thank
so
you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, man. All right, you guys have a good one. Peace out.